Well, Boston's mayor offering a formal apology from the city to Willie Bennett and Alan Swanson. Both of them were wrongfully named as suspects in the 1989 murder of a pregnant woman. That woman's husband told police that a black man shot them both while they were sitting in their car, leaving her and her unborn baby dead. The husband later confessed to his brother before committing suicide. Brian Claypool is a criminal defense attorney, and to be wrongly accused, even as a suspect, but even not arrested, with a lot of media attention about a pregnant woman murdered in cold blood, it got a lot of media attention, and so now you have the apology from Boston. Your thoughts?
Yeah, hey, Dana, happy holidays. Yeah, I mean, it took, 32 years for Michelle Wu, the mayor, to come and apologize to these two young men. And by the way, that took a lot of courage. And Michael Cox, the Boston police chief, he even came out a few days ago and said that he apologized for what may have been unconstitutional behavior by the police department. So I think that's going to go a long way in mending the wounds in this community. But at the end of the day, I think we really need to learn from what went wrong in this investigation. I mean, Charles Stewart's the one that said it's a black man that did this, but we need to look at what evidence may have been ignored during the investigation and what evidence may have been manufactured. For example, a witness persuaded to identify one of these two suspects, and then learn from that. And let's improve the investigative tactics of the Boston Police Department.
Sir, on another story, this is going to be a big deal in the legal front in 2024, and that's the trial in northern Idaho of Brian Kohberger. Now, the trial date is not yet clear, but there was a hearing in October on DNA, and we'll wait for a ruling on that. But the school wants to take that house down, just demolish it. Is that wise at this point?
Yeah, hey, Bill, that would be a catastrophic mistake by prosecutors to try to have this home demolished. Why? Because there's actually a jury instruction in civil and criminal cases about what's called destruction of evidence. And if this home was destroyed before the trial and defense lawyers couldn't use the home, for example, to do a reenactment, Bill, maybe to have jurors come out to the scene of the home like they did in the Alex Murdaugh case, right? That sways some of the jurors. So if this home is demolished, defense lawyers argue destruction of evidence, the jury then can draw an adverse inference against prosecutors if that happens. That is the focal point of the evidence generated in this case. You need to have that home there for the trial.
And we saw that in that case in South Carolina, where the jury takes the field trip to go to the crime scene so that they could better understand it. And you could imagine that prosecutors might want that to happen here.
Yeah, Dana, absolutely. And for example, just to show the schematic where Kohberger allegedly went from room to room to room and then back downstairs. For example, could he have been able to do that if defense lawyers say, hey, one man couldn't have done this, had to have been two? This could help the prosecutors, too, to show that he could have easily done this.
Right.
And, for example, where did he break into the home? And then the biggest issue for me is the preservation of evidence, right? That's probably going to be the biggest argument by the defense, that the crime scene was contaminated. If you have the house and you can show where the evidence was preserved, that actually helps the prosecution in this case. If you don't have it, how's the prosecution going to rebut that?
We'll see if the school gets its way. You got to think what the school thinks, right? I mean, get rid of the house and just put this behind us. Brian, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Great to see you. Happy holidays.
Thank you, sir.